Hi, I'm Bonnie Lynn Linke from Stamping with Bonnie Lynn. Welcome to my card demonstration this evening. I am going to show you the stamp set Tulip Fields out of the mini catalog January to June of 2022, which is on this page right here. We're going to use this stamp set. We're going to use the Flowering Fields Designer Series paper. And we're going to use the Windmill dies. And this is the Flowering Tulips, which makes tulip flowers that you can use with this stamp set. I do not have that one yet, though. And right now, we are in the middle of celebration. It goes from the 4th of January through February 28th. And there are some exciting things in this. With every $50 in merchandise you purchase, you get the opportunity to select either designer series paper or a stamp as supply lasts out of this little celebration catalog. And if you buy $100 in merchandise, one of the items you get to select, if you want to, is this Special Moments stamp set. It has 21 stamps to it. Some great sayings, happy birthday, I think you're wonderful. But we're going to use one of the stamps from this set on our card tonight that says, just a little hi from me. So, all right, let's get busy and get this out of the way. This is the card right here. And I know I told you we were going to do one that said, just a little hi for me. On this one, I used another stamp that I believe was out of that catalog, out of that same stamp set. I couldn't wait for a special occasion. And on that one, I used the rectangular stitched rectangular dies to cut it out. So I want to do something different on this one. Okay. So here are my supplies right here. And to get started, I am going to take my white cardstock, which this is the thick basic white. It is 5.5 by 8.5. And I scored it at 4 1/4. That is what this line is right here. This is the valley and this is the mountain. We always want to fold in towards the mountain. If you fold towards the valley, it weakens your fold. So that's why you fold in towards the mountain. And I'm going to take it and burnish it with my bone folder, just like that. Get a good fold. I'm going to set that aside, put my bone folder away. And then the first thing we're going to do, because if you look at this card, and I'll just kind of set it right off over here. There is a background right here, and it is a very light blue. I used Balmy Blue ink, and I used my blending brush to sponge it. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this piece of white paper. It's just your regular basic white, and it's 3 by 4 1/4. And all of these dimensions are on my blog, so don't worry about it if you don't get them. And in my stamp set with the dies, because I keep most of my dies in with the stamp set if it will fit, I have a magnetic card here. There are these 2 cool little clouds. And what I did is I took them and I took a Post-it note and I put it up on the sticky part and I cut them out with my Stampin', my cut and emboss machine from Stampin' Up. So I actually did 2 of each of them. I've already did it, so we'll put that back, and I can put these die cuts back. But I'm only going to put 3 of them on my background. So I'm going to put a cloud, a larger one right there. this one up. I think I'll put this one like so, off the paper a little bit. And I'm gonna maybe put this one right here. Being I have the windmill that is going to be down here, there's no reason to put clouds further down. But this is all going to be done with my blending brush. Okay, this is the blending brushes. I love these brushes. And I just take it and put some ink on it, and I start off and I just start turning. And I like to use a very light touch when I do it, so that I don't get them too dark. I can always go darker. I cannot go lighter. I have to start over. And turn it over. We'll have that the bottom part of the sky a little bit darker. And I don't have it even when I'm blending, because this is a sky, and skies are not an even color all over. So I will make some areas darker on purpose and leave others lighter. I love tulips. There's a place in Washington State, I don't remember the name, Leavenworth, I think is the name of the city, but don't quote me on that, that in the spring is supposed to have a lot of tulips. I am hoping to go there in May to that area for my granddaughter's birthday, and they live near there, I believe, and I'd love to go see the tulips. I've never been to Amsterdam to see the tulips there. I think that'd be so cool to do. Okay, so I got the color, the sky, the color I wanted it. So now I move my masks, my cloud masks. Now these are pretty white. They're more white than what I want. So I'm just gonna take my brush without putting any more ink on it, and I'm lightly going to put a little bit of color on those clouds. You don't have to do this. It's just my preference to do. All right. I'm happy with that. So we'll go ahead and put our ink over there. Get rid of the brush and the paper. I don't think I need it. Okay. Next thing we need to do is, this is a piece of the designer series paper. I love the tulips. I love these colors. And that's the back side. We need to cut out so that we have a place so the sky shows through. And to do that, I used my rectangular dies. And I want to show you how I do it. I take, and this is my sandwich for the Stampin' Up! Cut and Emboss machine. You use plate number 1. And when doing dies, you use plate number 2. You use 1 plastic plate. And as you can see, it's getting well used. I threw out my old ones recently. Now for this, I want to take on the rectangular dies. I number them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. In these sizes when I'm referring to them in directions. So remember, number 1's always the largest. I take it and I put it on my paper. Now this is going to move as soon as I lift it up or start rolling it, put the other piece of plastic on top. So I always tape mine down. But for these rectangular dies, and for most dies, if there's has a flat edge, if you put them in with this flat edge just going straight in, it's going to be a little bit harder. It's going to give you a little bit of resistance. So you'll see what I did. I turned it so it's on an angle, so that angle starts to go into my cutter first, and it will give me a better cut and be easier on my hand turning. And then I put this over. and then I just put it in my Stampin' Emboss machine and cut it. And this only needs to pass through one time. So we take that and we cut it out. Now what I'm gonna do is, with the piece I've already cut, there will be stitch dies around there. I'm gonna take the number 5 die, and I'm going to, again, do it on an angle, and I'm gonna place it in the middle because that's where I want it. And I'm gonna tape it, put this on, and run it through the die machine again. And what we're gonna get out of that is this right here. It's gonna come out just like so. You can see, I don't know if you can see it or not, but there is stitching all the way around on the outside one, and there's stitching around this inside, right around that window there. There's also stitching right on this one too. So we're gonna take this piece, I'm gonna set it aside, and I am going to make a card out of it, and I will post that the beginning of next week on my blog and send it to you with the directions. So what we're gonna do is, I've already put my tape on this because I like to use the tear and tape. I've already put it on. So our next move is we want to put this on. So I'm just going to go ahead and remove the inner part of my tear and tape. I did not put the tape on until after I had done all my cutting. So, okay, tulips are up that way. So I'm just going to take this. I'm just going to set it down in there like so. And then I am going to take this piece, and this is Evening Evergreen, and it is 3 7/8 by 5 1/4. Now, if you want to, you can make it larger if you want to. I just didn't want that much of it showing through. So I'm going to take it and there we go. This is the Take Your Pick tool. And what I do is I put it under the edge of the tape, the piece I want to remove, and it just pulls it right off. Gets it going, because with these fingernails I can't pull anything off. So there we go. And then I'm going to take this, I've already put tape on it, and I'm just going to put it on my card base. Let's see. There's a little edge on my card base, so wasn't quite even, so I don't want that to show from the front. So that looks good. So I'm going to take it. And I pull off the top piece, press it down, and then it's in place where I don't have to worry about it moving as I pull off the other pieces of tape. And should you get it crooked, this is why I don't use glue, because I make mistakes. Should you get it crooked or you put it on upside down, there's a product that Amazon sells. It's called Undo. I love this stuff. It's a petroleum product, but it's great for, you can just take the cap off, put it under there, and it will lift up, and you just let it dry. It takes maybe 30 seconds or so, and then you can retape it down the correct way. It is wonderful. So there that is. So next, we are going to get our windmill. And all I have to do is, there it is. It's right here. Okay, and where's my little, there it is. my silicone mat. I love this thing. Okay, I want to put my windmill together, and I'm going to take a liquid glue, and I'm going to put some there. By using the silicone mat, I am not going to get glue on my desktop, which is a solid surface, so I won't have to clean it. And I'm also not getting it stuck to paper. And just put a little glue wherever you want to, so it will stick down. Just a little dabs here and there. This is art glitter. I like the fine tip on it. I also like the liquid glue that Stampin' Up! Sells. I'm just out of it right now. I need to place an order. So you take this and you just put it on and slide it where you want. This is soft succulent, this green for the fine detailed piece. And I cut it out with my dies, as I did cut out the basic white piece in back. And let me again show you those dies. This is the piece that I cut out of the soft succulent. This is the white piece. And then this one right here is for my windmill. There are also dies, these little pieces here are to make a fence. There's a bicycle. This one is like a little border of just the tulip flower heads. This is another windmill, and there's a tree. You can see right here. There are stamps in here to also just stamp some clouds onto your sky if you want to. Okay, so there is that part of the windmill. Now I'm going to get my Stampin' Pierce mat back out, because at this point I need to put the blades on my windmill. Now I can glue it down right there and then just put some type of gem or matte dot on there, but I don't want to do that. There are in the general catalog some brads. I took my pick, this one right here, and I just poked a hole. But I had a lot of brads, so I just grabbed one of those, put it through here, maybe. Now when I put this on, I don't want to close it so that it's too tight, because this windmill will turn if I don't make it too tight. See? There we go. Because on this one, I wasn't thinking and I made it a little too tight. So that was my fault. On this one, I'm not going to do that. Okay. Move that for a minute. Let me get that out of the way. So now I'm going to take some dimensionals. I love dimensionals. I usually use too many of these, but that's okay. I don't mind. Let's see. Do I have any mini ones handy? I do. I'm going to take and put a couple mini ones up on the side over here. Just like that. And then pull the paper off. This pick is wonderful. It just gets everything off. Huh. I don't have a trash can. Oh. Look at that cool little trash can I got. I love it. Okay. We're going to take this and we're going to just put it down wherever you like it to be. Make sure you keep your blades, though, on the paper. That's good. Okay, and now I need to do my saying. So I need my Stampin' Pearson mat because we are using a stamp set out of the Special Moments stamp set from the Celebration catalog. I mean, I don't think I've used anything out of Celebration over the years as much as I've used this stamp set so far. And the Otter one is pretty close. And you guys remember Hey Chick from a long time ago? I made a few cards with that one too. Okay, so we're going to take a piece of scrap paper, and to get the ink, just go tap, 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 tap. And just put it down in the middle. Press down, hold it for a second. Like so. Then you want to clean your stamp set off. And this is the chamois. And as you can see, it's well used. I should probably rinse it out more than what I do, but I don't. So now it's nice and clean. And if you have a punch, we don't sell them anymore, but if you have one, you can use a punch to get that, or else you can use one of the layering circle dies. I keep the ones that I don't keep in stamp cases, like the rectangle, stitch rectangles and these, I put in these plastic sleeves on my magnetic boards. And that way I don't lose anything. This is the second from smallest circle, and we'll run it through the cut and emboss machine to cut it out. And what we get is that. Get this stuff out of the way. And what we're going to do is just put it so it's on there. So I want to use a glue dot on the one corner, one edge. Let me see. So that's going to go right here. And then because this is up on a dimensional, I need to make it even. And I didn't get that on there, so. Okay. I'll just go like so. Another thing you could do too is take your a little sponge and brush some either evergreen, evening evergreen, which is this color here, or some soft succulent around the side there. I did stamp that in the evening evergreen. Okay, and I want to take and put some champagne rhinestones on here. So I'm going to take the small ones, and I'm going to take and put 3 of them right across the bottom here. And we'll see how straight I can get them. Huh, that looks pretty good. Okay, and I will take, now for the inside, I'm going to take a piece of evening evergreen for my mat. And this is 4 by 5 1/4. I'm going to put that down. And of course, I've already put tape on it. I didn't want to bore you guys with putting tape on my paper. Okay. And then I'm going to take my white piece of paper. Now, this is basic white cardstock, and it's 3 3/4 by 5. Now, I could stamp it with some type of saying, but being I'm not quite sure what I want it to say, I am going to leave it blank for now. But if I did know, I would go ahead and set it up. And sometimes I just do a handwritten note instead. I think doing handwritten notes is a lost art. So I like to send them occasionally. And then I have here, this is 3 3/4 by, I believe, 7/8 or else 3/4. And I just put a little bit of tape on the back. I could stamp a windmill or even like that border of tulips. Ooh, that would have looked pretty right there. But instead, I'm just going to take this piece of leftover designer series paper I had and put it right there like that. And I didn't bring an envelope out for this one, but I do have one that I made for the other card. And I stamped the little windmill in the corner there. So there you have it. Our card for this evening. It is the Windmill Fields. And it is available till the end of June. And if you do place an order in the next week, the host code is right here for this month. I will be changing it probably on Sunday, and it will be on the blog, the new host code. And if you don't have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I would appreciate it if you would use me as your Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. And if I can help you at all, please contact me. You have my email address, bonnie@stampingwithbonnielynn.com. And if you want me to call you, just email me your phone number. I'm happy to call you. I'm happy to walk you through anything you need to know. And if I need to send you a little video on how to do something, I'm more than happy to do it. Thank you for tuning in. Please like the video if you would. And if you would subscribe, I'd really appreciate it. We want to keep YouTube happy by letting them know people are watching the videos and liking them. Thank you and have a good evening. Night.